Welcome back to the Base Indonesian show, where we sample the latest voice from the Indonesian public about universal healthcare. Today I'm pretty sick, so I would feel a bit fleety and a bit sluggish, so you'll have to excuse me for that. Just a few days ago, a man posted an outrageous video on TikTok trying to throw shade on some political elements in Indonesia. Which political elements? I will leave that up to the imagination. This guy said a bunch of really hurtful but funny things. Most importantly, however, this guy tried to convey how stupid it was to make healthcare free in Indonesia. If healthcare is free in Indonesia, then we'll have more unemployment probably. Shouldn't free healthcare be a thing that is good and celebrated though? I really want to know his points and why he thinks free healthcare is bad. I know he's probably saying this despite some people and to create outrage, but I'm very interested to see where he's coming from regardless. So let's take a look at his video.
Di jalan sering lihat baliho partai tulisannya gini. Kalau partai kami menang, BPJS gratis. Najis. Goblok. Ngayal. Sekarang kayak bayar kayak gitu pelayanannya anjing, kayak tai. Pernah nggak lo ke rumah sakit umum pakai BPJS? Kalau nggak lihat susternya tuh kayak gini. Bapak sakit apa? Bapak keluhannya apa? Mana suratnya bawa nggak Pak? Bapak kartu BPJS-nya mana? Fotokopi dulu Pak. Sebelah situ tuh.
One thing for sure, this guy's used the BPJS service, and what I can gather from what he's conveying to us is that whatever he's feeling right now is very personal.
Tunggunya, nanti dipanggil. Lagi sakit, iya dibentak-bentak mulu, badan sembuh, mental anjlok, iya kan, pikiran kita jadi kemana-mana kalau digituin, kayak kenapa gue miskin ya, kenapa gue nggak bisa ke Siloamnya, gitu jadinya. Gue rasa itu suster-suster yang di rumah sakit umum tuh kayak ketuker deh sama sipir yang di penjara buat orang korupsi kayaknya. Harusnya tuh mereka bukan kerja di rumah sakit, tapi kerja di penjara orang korupsi gitu loh, kayak Bapak korupsi apa? Bapak minta penjara kayak gimana? Minta yang AC? Nggak bisa Pak, Bapak kan koruptor. Ini cocok.
Jesus Christ, this guy's not holding back with whatever he's saying. I'll translate everything he's saying in Indonesian, just so people who don't speak Indonesian can understand. But whatever he's saying right now is super personal and it's seething with hatred. Hatred is a very weak word compared to what it's an understatement to what he's doing right now.
Terus yang di penjara orang korupsi pindah ke rumah sakit ya kan. Bapak kebutuhan apa bisa kita bantu? Loh, nggak bahaya ta? Makanya jangan ngayal gitu loh. BPJS gratis, lihat nih. Oh, MRT, ada uang, ada barang, ada mutu, ya kan? BPJS gratis, nggak mau gue BPJS gratis. Kalau ada BPJS Black Card mau gue malah. Justru gue cari BPJS Black Card, BPJS Black Card. Bikin
There's a BPJS Black Card, but it's 150 and the service is still shit.
BPJS Black Card, biar duitnya tambah banyak, bikin sistem yang bener, biar bisa datang online. Biar orang-orang miskin tuh yang datang ngantri sakit nggak nunggu dari jam 5 pagi. Masa orang sakit nunggu dari jam 5 pagi nih? Biasanya milenteng bayi lah, ada yang hamil lah, ada yang kursi roda dari jam 5 pagi. Ketemu dokter biasanya jam 1, jam 12. Di mana ininya? Helmnya di mana? Helmnya di mana? Rumahnya di mana?
What I gathered from his points was that making universal healthcare free is something that wouldn't solve any issues. He's basically trying to say that the entire problem regarding the BPJS health service is not in its costs, but more in its process, in its bureaucracy. As you can see, the way he feels towards this issue is, very personal. Every insult he throws, you can literally feel the seething hatred. Again, in the base Indonesian talks, I admit I don't even know what based actually means, but I'm pretty sure that this man is definitely base. Moving on. His statements regarding the BPJS process is a sentiment shared by many people around Indonesia, who feels that BPJS, while good on surface, is actually bad in practice. BPJS is already covered by taxes, but you also need to pay subscription from paying 150,000 rupiahs, as what I said earlier, for the higher class, to as low as 30,000 rupiahs for the lowest class a month, which is about $20 and $2 respectively. It is pretty affordable for people from all levels of society, and there's even the cheapest option for the lower income households. Of course, some facilities and sickness are not treated in different classes. Like say if you got slashed by a road bandit with a machete, BPJS will not cover you in the lowest class. I think you're also not covered for the higher class as well. Might need more research regarding that. Well, it's technically your fault if you can't defend yourself. Here in Indonesia, only the strong lives. Now, the problem is not from the cost itself, but rather the service and bureaucracy. Many people have complained on the waiting times for the queues for BPJS service. Some complain about how patients often have to go around on an exercise to photocopy to make a copy of their identification and personal details for the service while they are sick. They also complain about having to jog from one medical clinic to another before going to the hospital as per BPJS protocol. And plenty also complain about the quality of the service, as this guy. From having to wait inside a hot room with no air conditioning to nurses with the same bitchy attitude as pre-time skip Sasuke. Worst of all, some hospitals send their patients home and don't bother bringing them back for a checkup until BPJS has covered the bills towards the hospital. This is like hostage taking, but your bills and meds are the hostage, not you. Looking at the comments in this guy's TikTok, some of the complaints in the internet and news articles, it is crystal clear to me that making BPJS free will not really solve anyone's problems. People don't complain about the price. It's manageable. The problem lies in the bureaucracy, as I have said plenty of times. Making BPJS free, I think, will just fester the problem. If nurses, staff, and admins and doctors are already covered by the government through BPJS, but people still complain about the length, complexity, and quality of the service, then wouldn't making it free worsen the problem? Even more, as medical personnel have less incentive to serve patients? Not to mention, funding such a system may require higher taxes or diverting resources from other areas such as education, infrastructure, development, or social welfare programs, making school students more brain dead and duct tape being used to build bridges just to save costs. And we know people hate taxes being increased, especially the bourgeoisie. I also think that if healthcare becomes free, it would become fraught with abuse from people such as those who are addicted to, like, say, amoxicillin. And BPJS will also be overwhelmed by the amount of patients seeking treatment knowing that healthcare is free. A BPJS waiting line would look more like a waiting line for a new iPhone release. A lack of proper funds to finance BPJS and heavy strain from patients will lead to the collapse of the BPJS system. Which is why I think free healthcare is stupid! If you want to fix problems, fix the process, fix the bureaucracy. Don't just say you want to make it free so you can get votes. Insincere political jargons will only lead to irresponsible political will, and that leads to disaster. Thank you for watching this episode of the Base Indonesian Show. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I will see you in the next episode of the Base Indonesian Show. Bye-bye, real people.